in the writings of the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12, he says, all things are lawful unto me. He says, I have the right to do anything, but all things are not expedient. So to carry on in certain way, to feed certain things, he says, not everything is beneficial. The thing that I'm engaging in, even though it is lawful for me, it may not be beneficial. It may not be expedient. All things are lawful for me, he says, but I will not be brought under the power of any. He says, I will not be mastered by anything. I will not be brought under the power of it. So that when we are told to feed your addiction, then that is not what the scripture says. He says, don't be brought under its power. Don't feed it. But we are to mortify the deeds of the flesh, the scripture says. We must choke it, we must kill it, we must fight against it. We must not nurse it. We find petting a dog on our lap, it will turn into a lion, a ferocious lion. Sin is like that. Feeding our addiction will become like that. But also the scripture says this in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13 and 14. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. He says you might be addicted to certain things, but the Lord is able to bring you out of it. The Lord is able to bring you out of those things that is affecting you, that you are suffering under. He says, don't feed it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. So the idolatry is the issue. The addiction is one of idolatry of the heart. And so the scripture says, flee from it. And the Lord will give you the grace to kill those things that is hindering your walk.